everybody. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Good. So I'd like to call this meeting of the Park and Recreation Board together on this Wednesday, January 6th at 3 o'clock. It's wrong on she is kind enough to be our standing secretary for today, so we can call the roll out.
Sure, roll call. Chair Tammy.
Here,
Vice Chair George Ortel.
not here.
Do I just not do anything? Say one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would say absent.
Secretary Rick is not here. Kelly, that's me. I'm present. Nicole. Here. Deborah. Here. And Nora. Here. Great job, everyone.
Okay, so we have a quorum, so we're good to go. All right, perfect. Okay, so the first order on the agenda today is to approve the agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda today, please? Nora first, may I have a second?
Second.
Nicole? Okay, and then item number 2 today is citizen comments. If we have any citizens comments out there? Any citizens you'd like to talk?
You in the back?
All right, no citizen comments. I didn't hear what you said.
He said he was going
I
to
mean, I
wait,
could
but you
make
should
it.
do it
Look
now,
at
so
that.
we don't hold you up.
Oh, yeah, no,
On the
that's
calendar,
your,
it's the same
we
thing.
put you first, so you didn't have to sit and wait for all the other stuff unless you want to.
Well, I'll wait for the whole thing. I've been through most of the parks. I just wondered if all of you have been through the parks. You walked them all. We had made up a list a long time ago of different things we saw in the park that needed attention, such as trees maybe being removed, seawall conditions. We went over that. I don't know if we're doing that kind of inspection. We kind of looked at the walkways, whether the concrete was in good condition, any ground settling by the seawalls, general conditions of any of the benches or the piers going out, whether they need any work. I don't know, is that something that you've been looking at since you started?
We surveyed all the parks, we divided them up, and then everybody reported back, and then we gave our list, submitted pictures by email or.
That was just a few short weeks ago, at our last meeting.
It was the last meeting.
So nothing has probably actually been started since then. But it has been.
I did see some new mulch laid in, like, on Second Street, so, like, I don't know I don't know what the list was like, we're gonna do this, but we're not gonna do this, how that ended up. But yeah, we did that.
We took a look at the pathways. I know that's been a discussion with the council for a few years already. And we wanted to kind of upgrade those, clean them up, clear the trees out of the pathways.
Are you speaking of a specific park?
Pardon me?
Which park are you kind of referring to?
Pathways, the pathways north and south in the city. You have a walking path that goes
Oh, you're talking
From
about.
First Street-
That's between.
First Street to the park
Sure,
there.
along Harbor Drive.
and then you've got the pathway that goes from 13th all the way to 18th.
Yes.
So that pathway, in an old phone book, now there's no record of it unless Lynn has found something, but it used to be like an emergency turnaround because those streets are all dead-ended, 13th through 18th. So if those were cleared, you could get an emergency vehicle through there because it's about 10 foot wide. So I don't know what the status is as far as those streets, 13th through 18th.
Well, it's like I said the other night at the council meeting, the issue with those is the council's got to decide if they want to pave them or not pave them. And,
It never makes the agenda though, so who needs to put it on the agenda?
well, that's a council issue.
No, I mean, not like theirs, so they have to put it on the agenda.
Yeah.
So one of them has to like suggest it.
Well, they have suggested it, and we went and got a price, so this is 175. Yeah, it's 175,000 to do it,
175?
to do it all.
To do it all.
Okay.
And I said the simplest way to do it, if you want to do it, is do it when we have a stormwater project. And just add that asphalt onto it.
Sorry,
Now-
do it when we have what?
stormwater project. That way, because you're tearing up, like right now, we're tearing up 7th and 8th Street at the end. Well, that's a prime time to do something like that if you're going to do it. But the council hasn't decided to do that yet in total. Because it's a lot of money.
It's just one of the things that has been on our agenda for a while, and I was just hoping that, you know, there's interest with the new group, maybe to push that through or talk about it. There was some interest of the people on the south side of the city. They were kayakers and they were using that pathway to come up here to the beach. But, you know, things that fell by the wayside, especially with COVID and just general stuff of us not meeting as much as we used to or spending as much time. And
I think what we talked about is like the fact that they're trying to get like a survey, because like if I ask 5 people, they want that paved. And if I ask another 5 people, they absolutely don't want that paved. So I think they were trying to get a consensus or a vote with more than like it getting out to 80 people.
Are they asking neighbors that live there?
And
Yeah,
they're
you're
working
gonna
on that
find
now.
that's the case, you know, some people do, some people don't, but the big thing is a safety issue. You know, if you're gonna walk that pathway, and it is a walkable pathway, and you have any hazards out there, you know, like holes or whatever, and not a decent way to walk, somebody's gonna fall. So then the city's liable for that. So it's kind of a toss-up.
Well, one of the things, you can see some of the stuff is painted orange, which looks great. But the people that I know, most people know that I walk at least 4 miles every day, and I usually walk Gulf Boulevard. And Gulf Boulevard on the sidewalk now is a nightmare because the people that use it as a highway, like workers coming from across the bridge and going to Indian Rocks and things, and that's what all the people that I've talked to do not want a sidewalk going up through the town because we'll have that again. I think I don't know if you were here before, we had issues with the kids going through there and motorized everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, you would have, I had, you know, back in the day when we had our own police here, I was protected because I'm a member. But I had all kinds of issues in the parks. We don't want, everyone I've talked to does not want a thoroughfare going through there. And that's what that would become.
It
I
would be a
understand it at your
walkway.
end though, to make that like that makes absolute sense to me, to apply to.
Right.
But, I mean, my lord, for safety, but for a thoroughfare,
Well, if
I
we're worried
don't-
about people driving through there, we can put those big metal bars so you can't get vehicles going through them. But I think.
It would only be used on emergency, be blocked off.
Or to have it for, I don't think honestly people are going to be driving through there. That's a really rough way to.
well, I
get
meant if
from
there was a
point A to point
sidewalk.
B.
If it
Was that?
If it was a sidewalk from over the city hall and down the road, they could use that as opposed to the other sidewalk,
Walking
on a bike.
on a bike? That's, what would be wrong with that?
Because it's a walkway. It's like, we walk Gulf Boulevard all the time, and sometimes there'll be 2 people beside one another. I've seen people walking their children that have to jump back. And I understand that bikers have the same right as a pedestrian, but I've seen lots of people that will be on their phone on your bike, oblivious. If you walk as much as we do out there, the bikers and the motorized vehicles, you wouldn't even know that, especially, walking all the time. And I would hate that to be changed through our town, through the middle. We have now, it's a safe way for people to walk quietly and privately.
I wouldn't mind seeing it paved for walkers. I think that would alleviate some of the foot traffic. And I don't think bikers are really going to use it as much. I'm not saying they won't. I think everyone who's a biker is trying to get to point A, point B. And people who are walking are using those back streets because it's more peaceful. I don't want to walk next to those cars. I don't want my dog walking next to those cars.
Yep.
I love walking through that. I'd love to see it paved. I
Ba-
think it would be a
basically-
benefit for everyone who lived there, who have kayaks that want to come to 2nd Street, drop it in over to 7th, and they don't have to go up and around. Or they could safely walk through because, like you said, you're spray painting the roads. I don't know if it's in budget or how to push this forward, but
Well, basically, it's for community interaction. I mean, mean, I doubt if you're gonna see people take a bike down Gulf Boulevard all the way down 13th and then go inland. I doubt it. You know, nobody really knows it exists but the people that live in the city in those areas. So they have other people use it. There are a few people from Indian Rock Beach that use it, but they've been using it for years because they live on this end. So,
It's not like we're advertising that it's gonna be paved.
No, we're not
Like from
advertising.
the eye, you know, like just the
no.
eye in the sky would look the same.
Would it go by the pond there, where the walkway starts?
You mean across there?
Mhm.
Yeah, we
So it'd be visible from the bridge,
we have a license
yes,
to maintain that pond, the grass, not anything else.
right.
We'd have to get an easement from the county, but I know they would give it to us.
Right.
It wouldn't be an issue to get it.
So that you have that visible for the workers, I mean, I've encountered
Yeah.
it all the time.
All right, thank you.
It's a
Sorry, I
difference.
didn't catch your name.
Marv Beam.
Can you spell your last name?
Sure, B-E-H-M.
Thank you.
I didn't recognize you with your mustache.
Well, I got
Sorry.
one on top and one underneath. So.
They both look great.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have any further discussion on that, or want to talk about anything, like, should we put it on the next
It's
meeting?
past that point.
It's past that point.
It's already, the council, we did a survey to see, like, what, it's been a couple of years, I think. And, because at first we were talking about shelling it, but then we got looking into that. There is a certain kind of shell, it's called Runbank shell, that it's almost like paper. But,
They put it in at the Turtle Park, and I took pictures, it's awesome.
yeah, it's,
It looks really
It's
nice.
loose shell.
Uh-huh.
It's-
But it's like compacted and hard.
compacted, yeah. You can ride a bicycle on it,
Oh, really?
yeah.
And not fall, like it
Not
won't,
fall.
like spread
really?
in. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Go to the Turtle Park, it's really nice.
Turtle Park, like across,
Awesome.
Bridge. I'll go check it out.
Yeah, it's called Runbank shell. And it, you know, it's next best thing I would say to asphalt is it compacts and it's stays together. It's almost like a roadway. I mean, you drive a car down.
And that's 175,000.
Oh, no, that's much cheaper.
That's much cheaper.
But the council talked about paving it with
What is the
asphalt.
like look on that?
What, the Runbank?
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to do some maintenance to it annually, but for the most part, not much. You may have to add something to it if it gets, I mean, I don't know how many miles we put in Oldsmar. Probably 3 or 4 miles of it, maybe longer, more than that. I mean miles, 15 foot wide, drive a car down.
So it's just gonna take someone on the council to like push the issue?
What, initially it was talked about to do Runbank shell. Then it was brought up to do paving it as opposed to the Runbank shell because there is some maintenance with that. So, and we did have a short discussion a little bit the other night about it at the meeting, Mark. We had a little discussion about it at the meeting.
Yes, we got-
Yeah, so we'll see where it goes.
All right, item number 3 on our agenda is the approval of the December 9th meeting note or the minutes. Can I have the first to approve those? We need a motion for that. Can I have a motion to approve those minutes? And the second?
Second.
All right, so those notes or minutes are approved. Okay, so the 4th item on our agenda actually has to do with the minutes, so like Rick's not here, but I would like to make a proposal that our minutes be turned into, as opposed to being in paragraph form, and you guys get the minutes, and there's quotes of people and kind of like opinions, I would like it to be just bullet points. like very concise, and there's a couple of examples, because that's the way Patty does it with the council, because you can't sit there and try to quote out everybody or say, oh, I was very discouraged about this, or, you know, so-and-so did a good job, but so-and-so didn't. Like no opinions, no bias, just black and white, bullet point, this is what we talked about, objectively, exactly. So I would like to propose that we move to that, because I think one, it'll make it easier, and if there's any question about anything, it's recorded usually.
Right.
It's recorded. So, and I think it would make it easier for us to go through it and define things. Because like, I know like last meeting we talked about, because when I presented to the council, one of them asked us to, like, when we're putting the activity calendar together, or, you know, like the events, to get input from, you know, the citizens. And, you know, we asked about getting it maybe on the survey, and, you know, we were told, no, it's not that kind of survey, but that wasn't even mentioned on there. And it was very important, I thought, because the council asked us to do it, and it just didn't end up on the minutes at all. So I think if it's bullet pointed and not paragraphed out, I think it'll be easier to, like, catch everything, because you're just catching the topic.
Right.
So can I have a motion to move to that format? We have a first from Deb, and a second. Nora will second. Okay, so that's passed. So we'll just pass the information on to the secretary. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, now we get to do the fun part of the meeting. Well, actually, number 5 isn't that fun, but just a recap of, for the Bel Air Beach We Love Our City donation program. So the first thing that we have to do, Lynn got back to me and said we can't like tack on to the garden clubs, like tax exempt, we have to get our own. So I'm hoping that we're gonna be able to get that done between this meeting and next meeting. So we just need to be told what to do.
Well, the attorney said a group would have to do it outside of this board. That's what the attorney told me.
Okay, so I saw
sent
the
you an
group.
email back.
Yeah, I didn't understand what group, when you said group, I thought you meant our group.
No. Well, you could be part of it, but it's not part of the park board. He said it has to be a
Okay.
separate entity.
Can we make up a separate entity, or can we?
Oh, anybody can do that.
Oh.
But it takes longer than a month to do that.
Okay.
Well, I don't mean get it back, I just mean at least get the ball rolling.
Yeah. Let me talk to Fred some more and see if I can get you some background documents from somewhere. Because it's not a big hassle to do it, it just takes some time and there are some costs to it. So that's the issue where it's got to be a separate entity.
So with the cost, can we use our budget to cover that cost?
That's something I'll ask Fred if he thinks we can do that
Okay.
legally.
All right, I just wanted, that's like, we have to do that first before we do anything
Yeah, so you have to
else.
get a tax ID,
Uh-huh.
you have to be incorporated, you have to send bylaws to the state, that has to be approved.
Okay.
It's not just,
Is it easier than getting a grant?
yeah, getting a grant?
I'm joking, because like, I looked at some of the paperwork for the grant, like, proposals, and I was like,
What?
huh?
Oh, you looked through the paperwork for the grant?
Yeah, it was included in my binder that Patty gave me, like some of the applications. So.
Part of the benefit, doing all that stuff.
Yeah,
Got to be creative.
right. So I just, I realize there's a little bit of legwork with it, and,
Not as much as with the grant, I can tell you that. Did
so
you
it's
say
a
that?
small place for us to start. All right, well then I'll just leave it.
Are we able to use the tax ID and incorporation of the garden club for
No,
that?
you're a separate entity because
Okay, just didn't
they're,
know if there was
they're,
like a loophole.
they're how you would have to create it, because what you're wanting to create it for is to better the parks. Okay,
Right.
so that's what the bylaws have to be developed for.
Okay, that makes
So.
sense.
But those things are online and easy to find.
So we can be a separate group, but all the same members?
Yeah, you could be, but you'd have a separate meeting. There's nothing that says you can't be part of it,
Okay.
because it's a private. if somebody wanted to talk to somebody maybe close, Bel Air Community Foundation, they have that. And they do projects for, like right now, well, I'll say last year they were doing the things, it's a community foundation. They were doing projects for their police department where they put all this stuff on that the police department felt they needed that they could have extra. And so they went out and did fundraising for that. And they put on a lot of things at the rec center up there.
They have camps,
Huh?
they have camps, they have.
Well, that's the city, but this Bel Air Community Foundation does other things. Like if you go to, if you're aware of where Ponce de Leon is, in that park there,
Oh, yeah.
that military park, that's something the foundation did. They actually got sponsors for that park.
Okay, so you're suggesting that one of us go over there and talk to someone there and just get a little...
You may be able to call someone there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll do it, and unless someone else wants to volunteer, I don't mind.
And if you need me to find the number, I'll talk to, actually, they'll be here Friday, I can ask Rick. Yeah, I'll ask their park and rec director, because he'll be here Friday.
Okay, perfect. That's great. Okay, thank you. Is there any other discussion on that program for right now? No? Okay. Okay, so now we get to do the fun one. So if you go back in your packet, it's pretty much the same list with a couple things added. So I wanted to see, I don't know, I was thinking about a couple different ways that we could do this. So I thought, if you had a suggestion that's not on this, then we write it in, and then everybody vote for the ones that they like maybe your top 5 or something like that. And then we just kind of tally them up, and then we each can make our presentations on like what we're suggesting and the information that we found out. Like say for example, I found from Bel Air Country Club, one of the instructors, she'll do a boot camp on the beach Monday and Wednesday at 4 o'clock for $10 a class. So like just, and if you don't have that information, that's fine. It's just, you know, the more information that you have, the easier it'll be for us to make a decision on what will go and what won't go. So if you could just kind of take a look and see what's on here, and then if one of your suggestions is not, please just write it in, and then we'll go and kind of pencil it in, and then we'll vote, and then we'll tally them up. Does that make sense? Okay. And then just kind of call out when you're ready.
I'm ready. Can I talk about what I want to add on?
Yes, because
Okay.
we need to write it in.
Okay, so I'm a big youth kind of person, but after looking into it, there's not a lot of kids in Bel Air Beach. So I went the opposite direction and realizing we have an active aging problem going on. So that there's
It's not a problem.
There's no, no. Technology problem. The word is technology problem.
Jesus, they're looking at you, excuse me?
Hear me out.
I'm the oldest one in here.
Hear me out. There are devices, like if you fall and you can't get up, you can use your iPhone to text your nurse, your hospice nurse, or a family member. There's that technology available. So I'm suggesting you teach a class, bring a tech guy in, and he can give his business cards out and volunteer his time to just whoever wants more information about what's out there as far as technology to help the elderly when they're alone. And then my second thing is doing CPR classes. We can have the fire department come in, do first aid, AED, how to recognize a stroke, heart attack, things like that. And just an overall kind of like refresher course.
I think those are both great ideas. I think like they're not COVID friendly for first quarter is my first thought, because like I think CPR, I've taken a CPR class, like for to be a lifeguard or whatever, a million years ago. Like, you know, to have a group of people come in here and try to do that, I think everyone will be like, no.
Right
now.
Right.
Yeah, but maybe like in September or
Sure,
something
sure,
like
sure.
that, once everyone's vaccinated and the numbers start coming down, and we're all very hopeful that's gonna happen. I do like both of those ideas, but that was my first thought as you were talking.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have
I
any?
love CPR class. I think
Yeah.
that's a great.
I mean, even
idea.
for the beach, like for
It's
literally
expensive.
anybody, like
It's pretty expensive and
Okay.
it's pretty intensive in time commitment as well. It's not just like an hour, you know.
Right.
won't the Red
Amen.
Cross do a CPR
Yes, so
class?
I looked into it, Red
But
Cross
I think a
offers.
lot of people are interested in it, but you have to get everyone to agree on, you know, Saturday and Sunday or whatever,
Yeah.
however they have it broken out.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe after.
Yeah.
Did you get a price for Red Cross?
No, I couldn't find that out.
There is one right next to my esthetician's business, so I will, like literally right next door, so next time I go, I'll knock it
I
down.
think it's generally between like 150, like around the 150 range.
To be certified or to learn how to do, just to learn how to do it? Is that
Gosh, I feel like they would need certification. I
Okay.
was looking into it.
I
don't
didn't
know
realize it
what-
was that expensive.
It was really expensive, but they were selling out. It was at my hospital and they were selling out.
Okay.
But
Can you do a little bit more
Sure.
research on pricing and class options and stuff like that?
I think we're gonna run into a lot of these problems where everything's like, let's push it off and like.
How
Right.
can,
They
how
pay
can
for
we
their
decide
car.
that? We'll say both, yes, we like it, but both, no, not right now. Is that how we're gonna do that?
In for the fall or,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I think we're gonna pick 5 things we wanna do right now.
Okay.
And then so like, and then we're gonna
And we
keep
can
this
revisit
list
that.
and we're gonna add, like, if something's not working, we'll trade it out. If like something will work better in the fall or in a different time frame, then we
I
just add it.
really liked your idea of the New Orleans picnic. I feel like we could social distance that. I think we could add on so much to that we don't even have to decide at this moment.
Well, that's an
We got live
event, not an
music.
activity.
But it is, there'll be activities within there, and here's how. We can also get, we had a lot of donations then. We could roll out that whole dog thing. People could dedicate their dog. Think about businesses, that's what we're up against. We have just citizens with no businesses, and if we don't want to invite IRB and Bel Air, then it's down to dedicating it to your dog's thing on the dog, you know?
No, I definitely thought we would
plaque.
have all that
To
done
have
by
a
May.
silent auction during that time. We could have a wine liquor toss donated by like the wine liquor store, but we're pulling in different neighborhoods. There's so many things, and I think we can do one really, really big good event. And then, here's the thing, how are we even gonna tell these people? We
Yeah,
have to
or,
really
yeah,
jump on,
how do we-
somebody's gotta take over that Facebook page.
Right.
And first off, that's fine, I just got it last month, but I think we have to do a little mailer. Or I can go door to door and drop it into everyone's mailbox. I'll see the legalities into that, but I have no problem being
You're
on
not allowed to
flyer.
touch mailbox.
What?
It's a
Really?
federal.
It is a federal offense.
Okay, so I won't
I'll
do
get it.
that.
Yeah.
But I can get a mailer for sure.
We can do a door hanging, we can do a door hanging
Well-
campaign that lists the activities.
That's allowed?
Yes, that's allowed.
Oh,
We can also post it on next door neighbor. Okay,
Door
so,
hanging,
one
we
second,
need to
like,
have that.
so your 2 ideas are those
Oh,
2.
and one more, of having that Red Cross blood drive, the
Oh,
bus.
the one blood.
Yeah,
bus.
park in the thing, park in our thing.
Okay. So
Park
that,
it, I think, but usually you get
I
some.
gave blood yesterday,
Right,
I thought about it.
where'd you get it?
In the parking lot of Largo Mall.
Garden lot, what'd you get? You get like a 20.
I did a free appetizer from Carrabba's,
So
a
Carrabba's.
t-shirt.
They're not even in there, see, we can
Doritos.
do something like that. And we
Oh,
can
no,
even
that's
try to
great.
do like a neighboring community.
And the blood drive is COVID free because they're very,
Yeah.
they're on it about that.
Yep,
okay.
I'm on board with that.
Okay, Deb, what, do you have to add that isn't on here already?
Well, the 2 days, well, the one thing I have, I talked to a person I know that lives in the neighborhood, Tara Armstrong. So I mentioned that, Annie, or not?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But it's on here, the beach yoga and
Yeah, yeah.
meditation. So it's like, I think we should like vote on it, and
Okay.
then if it gets,
I didn't know if you wanted me to give the details or.
explain it, we can. But go ahead.
Okay, just briefly, she's amazing and she does all kinds of yoga, but an older person like me would be more, an easier yoga on the beach, and then she ended with meditation. So all different kinds of people participated, different levels, and her price was just ridiculous. It's only $10 per class, or she was willing to do the entire month for $60.
Yeah, $60 unlimited, so if there's 3 classes a week, and I believe what she said was,
Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
yeah, Tuesday and Thursday at 8:30 in the morning, and
That's half off.
Saturday at 9:30 in the morning.
That's called positive.
That's ridiculous.
And it could be 15 if there's like, fifth week of the month. So the
Right.
$60 is so, it's like $4 a class, it's so
Right.
affordable. And she's a really good teacher. We did just the meditation part, but she'll do like 45 minutes of yoga, and you can modify to any level you want. So like if you're a yogi and you want to stand on your head, you can, and if you just want to sit there and, just do a gentle stretch, she can modify. She teaches at Drip, right?
Yeah.
So she's a very, very,
She's
like,
amazing.
yeah, she's a very good
So
instructor.
is that what we're talking about under the first category?
No, that's the stand-up
Okay.
category.
I'm
If you go
sorry.
down to beach yoga and meditation, that would be that
I just
one.
want to make sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's amazing. And then the other two things, like just casual things, they won't be like a weekly thing, something we can talk about briefly.
That's fine.
I think like a book club for different people to get women and then maybe well men. Like book club.
My husband definitely wants to join the book club.
We'll let you pick it. To get together, get people out of the house and get together. And then the other thing is like, we were talking sometimes like having one-time things. I used to study photography, I was pretty good at it, but now I see lots of people, you can do a lot of things with your phones if you're educated about it. And I have a little person that's an amazing photographer. I feel like one time we get together and we show people, women together and men, and show them how to do better things on their phone. Are you laughing at me?
No, I love photography, so I was like, all right.
So do you have information on pricing or times or anything?
No, and then that's Deborah Maximum. She lives on here, and I'm sure it'd be like a terrorist price range.
Okay,
She's probably wouldn't want to even change the price.
And we can coordinate that with my tech class to teach how to utilize your phone better too.
Yeah. I mean, she would just be probably sure.
Perfect. Nicole? What would you
Wanna
like to
know what
see
my
on the
thing
activity
is?
calendar?
Well, it's two things, because like I thought about this and I was like, okay, we should probably put together events that are like, say, okay, max you can spend for the month is like $50, like as a citizen. Because I'm like,
Right.
okay, I don't want people like spending all this money, like there should be like some free things. So like I did knitting and crocheting. That was one of my
I would
ideas.
sign up.
I
Everyone's
figured
gonna
like,
start.
because I like knit, everyone of all ages does all that. And then I do like the wine and walk thing.
Like the
Just
beach,
saying.
like walk the bridge and
Yeah, there was something on here to like coffee and wine.
That's
but-
coffee or whatever.
Yeah, wine and walk. And then the other thing I had, which can be like in like the next few months, is like puzzle club. So like people can just like get a mat and they can work on a puzzle and then they can roll it up and like save it for the next time or whatever.
I'm still working on one I started in April.
So those are just like the ideas.
Okay, cool.
But things that are like free. Like, so if you're gonna do like one that's like, they pay, like I see the $45, and then like, okay, if they wanna do like one yoga class, it's like $55 for the month. Like, they're already like, probably like, ooh, I don't know. So then if we incorporate some free, like, events or, activities, people would be more willing to like come out.
I agree.
I
I agree. We
totally
should
agree.
tap onto a lot of the free things. Some of the free things we can do is tennis. I think we could do like a simple knockout. And you can, so there's two, right? There's two places that you can play. And before the simple knockout, I don't play tennis, so I'm not.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know what simple knockout
Yeah, what is
Oh,
that?
That is like when you and I go head to head, and then whoever wins, and now you and I say I won. And then
Okay.
you and I go head to head, and then you win, so I'm out until the last person's
Oh,
standing.
not.
It's just fun.
So it's like a tournament?
It's like a tournament, but you just keep going until there's one man standing or one man or woman standing, you know?
So-
And beforehand, you can get there's lots of tennis rounds around here that are, give lessons.
I can watch
And
them
you
sit
can
by
do
water.
like, learn with a pro, or warm up with a pro, whatever you want to call it. Kids can come out, adults can come out. Try different things that like adults and kids can do, because we have, our demographics is
She's being bad.
a little bit of, I feel like chess is a fun thing, but it's not really COVID friendly right now. But with chess, you can also do like, again, another tournament with the Grandmaster, where he goes around and plays like, there's like a 14-year-old boy here in the area that, not in Colorado Beach, but in Dallas County, that just got his Grandmaster. I think that would be fun to like play against a 14-year-old, I'm sure, stuff like that, but it's all future stuff. I think we should tap onto your picnic and make that big.
Okay.
Make that big and do a really big fundraiser then. So everyone's gonna come out, it's free, we're spending money on it already, and we're gonna collect some money on, which is all going back into everything that we're doing.
Now, how would we get that information? It's like, even like when we did the things with the police, we didn't have a way to go door to door. How could we get that information out, like, if we wanted to do a picnic, as she suggested? Because I think legally, you can't take it.
It can't do what?
Legally, can we take and put a flyer in every door? I thought I was told you can't do that.
You're not supposed to. It's the code.
Yeah.
It's solicitation. But that's what we're trying to do with this survey we're doing now.
When
We're
are we
trying-
gonna get our board?
Well, they made a decision.
They did. Did it get finalized?
And
They did the other night?
neon lights?
Uh,
The neon lights are coming?
Is it what?
What is it going to be? What's the board?
It's going to be electronic.
Good. I'm sorry.
I know you get it, but they make
So
it
it's gotta
nice
go
now.
out to
It's
bid,
not like
which-
that very blinding light.
Okay, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
It's got to go out to bid, which we'll put that together. We've already asked the guy that gave us the design he's going to update it a little bit, but we had a little, as Marv knows, it was all over the place, and some council members for a while wanted, like we had, which I told them the other night at the meeting that my suggestion is to do this. We don't need to do half and half,
No.
because that was another thought.
That was.
So it was unanimous, so we're going forward.
Good.
Oh, good.
Is
All right.
there an ETA on that?
Well, it has to go to bid, and that's usually out 30 days, and then,
Oh, we're still bidding it out.
yeah, you have to bid it because it's 30 plus thousand.
Okay, so we're months away.
Yeah.
But the survey, we're getting ready to do the mailing for the people that didn't. We sent it out electronically to the people that were on our, what I call our old constant contact list. And I think 82 people out of that list filled it out, and another 30 maybe had filled it out. So we're going to delete those people from the mailing so we don't send it to them twice. And we're going to mail to all the property addresses.
So you have the mailing list?
Huh?
You
They're
have
working on it.
our mailing list?
Yeah.
You have the mailing list.
Yeah, I can get that.
So we could just take that, we can print something, but we have to get the Facebook thing going. And then kind of announcing it there, the party, and Facebook, and try to get everyone at that point. Mail it out to everyone.
I agree.
Mailing it all out, how much
We were
is
talking
the
about the
expense
cost.
of that to mail to every house here in Bellevue Beach?
I'm trying to remember, probably $500 or $600.
Yeah, it's $500 or $600 just to mail it.
Plus you're printing it. It'll,
This one's here.
you know, we've done like little postcards for some things at times. So, you know, doing
That's
something like
less.
that.
Postcard,
If you can
yeah.
take, you know, you don't need to mail this.
No.
You can take this and make it
Yep.
this, and same effect,
Exactly.
you know.
Much cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
so.
you can put it on your fridge, oh, please.
Okay, so you're good?
Did you put this beach cleanup at Ice Cream Social for Saturday month? I like it.
I did. Okay,
I
so.
really like it. And the boat parade, Indian Rocks Beach, let's do it at the same time.
So we've got two different lists here. One is the event calendar, and the events have to be voted on by council. So events would be, and that's what, like, the first thing, okay, like, if you look, and I kind of mixed them all together, I shouldn't have. But, so the Halloween costume parade, dog costume parade, sorry, like for Saturday, October 30th, that would be something that we would have to present to the council, like, and we'll do it all at once. And they would vote on it. The boat parade would be another, the lighting of the Christmas tree and the holiday social would be another, the garage sale, April, November would be one, and.
No, the garage sale's not.
Garage sale doesn't? Okay, so I'll cross that off. And then the boat parade, and I did write the same day as IRB. Like, if we can decide on that list of 5 or 6 things, I will ask if I can present it at next month's council meeting, so we can get those dates locked in, and we know that those are on the board. If we're gonna do a one and done CPR class, a one and done paint class, those don't have to be approved. But like the events that we're talking where we invite everyone in the city, not just if like 15 people want to go to a paint, the Sunset on the Beach class. So that's the distinction between our two lists. So that's what we're gonna, why don't we vote on that first, because it's a shorter list and we need to submit it for next month's meeting. So if you just look, I think it's kind of split out between 2 pages. Starting at the bottom, Lynn and I kind of talked about this when I first started, because like there's more dogs in this town than there is kids. And like I put my dog in a hot dog costume and ran her around the block in no parade. You know, so it's like, I think if like we did a little, no one got to see her. No one got to see her, and she was happy because she was embarrassed. Like, I think that would be something that a lot of people would think that you could bring your kids, and we've done them in our old town, and people love it. I mean, this party train was like a mile long, and like you just have like someone in an orange vest in the front, and maybe one in the middle, and one at the end to kind of guide along the path that is preset, and then you just come back and you have an ice cream social or whatever we do. We can work out the details later, but we need to get the dates and the actual event locked down. So I think those were the 5 that we've kind of been looking at: the Halloween dog costume parade, the Christmas tree lighting and social that we tried to do this past December, but we just didn't have enough time, so we definitely want to get it on the list for 2021. The May picnic in the park. And we can do April or May, it doesn't matter. I just know that the garage sale's already in April, so I thought that's why we would shoot for May, to kind of separate them out a little bit. And then the boat parade being the same day as Indian Rocks Beach does theirs. We just kind of tack onto it or just do our own going this direction. So if you guys can just kind of read through those and like any comments or changes, suggestions, additions.
That was 4, Katie. That was
That's
only
4.
One, I know because my 5th one was the garage sale that I didn't know was just a
Gotcha.
given. So if we have a 5th one,
It says boat parade, Christmas tree, Halloween,
and the picnic. And the picnic. So, and we don't have to submit 5. We can start
Submit
with
whatever you
4.
want.
Yeah, let's start with 4.
Okay, are we all good with the 4 and we are good with the dates? Okay, so I guess I need to make a motion to approve these 4 events that we're going to present to council. Can I go first? So Deb is, and then Nora will second. Everyone in favor? Aye. Everyone's in favor, sorry, I forgot to pass that on. Okay, and then the second, and I will do my little spiel, because I did do some research, but I kind of put everything in line on the same, not the calendar, but the typewritten page. So I started with we can call it whatever. I called it the Bel Air Beach Family Picnic. I just threw out the date of May 15th. That's a Saturday in the middle of the month. Jazz in the Park. But I went through, and there were a ton of cute little, not the first time this has been done. So there were tons of cute little postcards with Jazz in the Park, family picnic, so there were lots of little options to pick from. But it would this was my thoughts, and if anybody has like changes, additions, if you want to go a completely different direction, but so everybody to be COVID friendly can bring their own picnic lunch, their, you know, their chairs, their blanket, their chicken salad. And it's BYOB if you want to have a glass of wine. We're not going to serve liquor. We would provide desserts, and to be COVID friendly, I did some research on like things that we could, like, so if we have a table set up, people just come up and, you know, whatever. I want a brownie, a cookie, or a cupcake. And then we're not giving out plates, or it's all finger desserts. And then they can take their desserts and their beverages. Everything's bottled, you know, behind us in coolers of ice. And, you know, like, so it's a bottle or a can as opposed to us doing, you know, like you used to those big infusion jars with lemonade and iced tea. It's so much more cost effective, but we can't do that right now. And I know Lynn has talked before, like, oh yeah, we can just grill, you know, hamburgers, but that was pre-COVID, and I don't think May is going to be enough time for us to actually serve the food and for people to want to eat it. But that was just my thought, so I'm like open to suggestions. So the jazz band that I heard at Ours, the New Orleans style restaurant that's new in Tarpon Springs. So I called him, I spoke to the head guy for 5 musicians for 3 hours for New Orleans style jazz, and they all dress up alike, and they've got the trombones and the saxophones, and they sing, and they were excellent, for 3 hours at $625. So it's basically $125 a person, and I thought that was pretty reasonable. I already talked about the desserts and the non-alcoholic, and then I did a little research too. I gave one to these guys, but like, so I found, real close to us, so they just started making these. They have three styles. So you have like the Jeep with the surfboard, you have some palm trees on another one, and you have a turtle on another one. And they have all different kinds of tank tops and all different kinds of t-shirts. The first thing I asked him is, I'm like, where'd you get that date? He goes, they're all made up. So it says Sand Key was established and they made up the date. And I said, well, can you get the date fixed by May? He said, yes. And then he said, if a guy wants this one, they can take off the flowers. So what I thought we could do is, you know, we have a table set up, and we have one example of each of the iron-ons in a tank top and a t-shirt and all the different colors that they have. And they will sell them for $10, and I'm going to try to work it down to $8. But for right now, I thought $10 was really reasonable. And then, like, so we'll sell the ones that we have, and I'll just, you know, we could pay for those obviously when I get them, but then we would take orders. And so it's like, you know, we take their $10, write down their name and phone number, then I would go, or we would go, somebody would go place the order. It's literally 2 miles down the road, and then we would just bring them back here and they could pick them up at City Hall. But that was just,
Yeah, that's fine.
you know, it would have their name on it, and, you know, whatever, they could give their size. It would just be a quick little sheet. I want a white tank top with a turtle, you know, emblem or whatever the case may be. And then they also had the stickers. So I have them, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I put them because, you know, you see them for everything, but I never saw them anywhere for, here. So I bought one for everybody, so if you want one, that was, I'm sorry to buy you guys one.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, then you guys,
You can get
you got one. You want one?
Yeah.
Okay, then everybody has one. Okay, perfect. But so like we could, what I was gonna do is just like buy those in advance. You're gonna stick it on your forehead? Buy those in advance, and then if we don't sell them, I think I bought these 2 for $5. Just ask them if, like, you know, I have a stack this tall left, and, you know, I just return them or whatever like that. But we aren't gonna pre-order. I mean, this is if you guys want to do this, but I thought, like, I've always wanted like a cute little shirt with Bel Air Beach, and I just have never seen them anywhere. And I think for $10, I think they might go. And we can get kid sizes. I didn't say that, kid sizes and adult sizes. So, and they have all kinds of baby stuff too, like onesies. This probably won't fit on that, but like, we'll see if they can. He has the ability to order a decal, so I will ask the question if we can get them to fit kids or babies, like kind of size it down, because he has time to do that.
You'll have t-shirts for older women with sleeves and not the up to the top.
Yeah, there's
A turtleneck?
normal t-shirts and tank tops. Yeah. So, that was that. Oh, and then I thought, I know here they have like the Bel Air Beach with the logo with the shell, so we would put some of those on the table too, because like sometimes people just don't come in here, so they might not even know that they're available.
I
Yeah,
had these made probably 15 years ago.
cute. It looks like it's in really good shape.
Pardon me?
It's in really good shape.
Well, I ordered about a dozen of them.
Okay.
At the time, but I got a
That's
friend
his
of mine that
11th
got-
one.
Okay, so you trade them out. But I just thought it would be cute to have a table of things with our city's name and like the cute little, because people buy those every time we go on vacation. Yeah.
Honestly, something, I don't know if this is gonna pass, but you know how you have to buy the Bel Air Beach sticker for your car at the beginning of every year?
Yeah.
What if we had that opportunity to sign up or tell people how to get the sticker at the same time, or is that like too much?
Well, it's,
I know you do it all here.
Well,
it's
you
all
have to do your
computerized.
license
Is it more
registration. It's
complicated? Yeah, but I've never done it.
And anyone can email it, they can email it and we mail it to them, but you gotta have your driver's license, registration. If you rent, you gotta have your lease.
It's too, yeah.
But I feel like we could have that information there,
Yeah,
that
that's-
the people with the shirts, it's like, don't you want that? Like, you want the shirt, I want the sticker,
Well, I always get the stickers, but like you literally, because she's got this little machine that she literally types your license plate into. So like it's nothing that we could do out there.
Okay, well, yeah, well, just information, like, literally like a poster that just says like how to do it, where to go to get your sticker.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and then like I was just thinking like, and then my list was much shorter than yours, but like we need to like an activity list. So I put games for kids that can include any of the stuff that you mentioned. Like, and I was trying to think of New Orleans. Like when I've only been there once, but there were tons of people like doing face painting, and those caricatures where like they draw like if we could get like an artist, and they do them in like 10 minutes, and they don't look a thing like you, but they're fun and whatever. It's just a thought. We can do whatever activities that we want, but I didn't know if we wanted to totally go overboard with the New Orleans theme, or just kind of have the music and the name and
I think the music, the name, and we can throw in all the
Throw in
things that
all
we
the
would
other
get
stuff.
that are going to be COVID friendly at the time. So freeze painting probably not, but
That's
the characters, yes.
yeah, okay.
Let's try that and see what else.
Do we have to pay out for that?
I'm sorry.
Do we have to pay the city for if someone comes and, like, the person that comes and does like the little painting thing?
Okay, so that's the other thing that we have to talk about. So our budget, and Lynn, correct me if I'm wrong, our board's budget for the year is $6,000, and that's already been approved. So like we can decide, like, I would like to put a budget together that we try to target, and then if we end up going $200 over, we're not gonna sweat it. But like, knowing that the music's gonna be the biggest expense, I think. And I think that, the desserts are obviously the second. And then we see where that lands, and then if we wanna, because I think it would be kind of cool if like, I don't know if that would be something that like where someone would pay for their sketch like you would anywhere else, or if we do them
We
for
should
free.
make it
For free. So we would have to figure out, like, if we could pay that person just like the band, would you charge X amount an hour and they just do as many drawings as they can an hour? So that I didn't know where to start to research, like where to find that person. And I literally was at the new produce market down on Gulf, on my bike, in this van. It was one of those mobile caterers for desserts. And I looked high and low online, could not find it. It was a lady's name, could not find it. So like I know that'll be more expensive to have like a dessert food truck come. Then they would have it all individually wrapped, and they would make it, and we would have to go to Publix and ask them, well, here's my case of containers, can you individually wrap everything for us?
Excellent. This is about what we did for the police. And I forget the name of the restaurant. They did a lovely job. What
Yeah,
did you think
over
about
by,
the dessert? Wasn't it cookies in there?
yes.
And what did you think?
Yeah, We're fine.
they really accommodated us. Jody's the one that went and picked it up, her daughter dealt with it.
Yeah, if you can get the names
I'll get that.
Workers that I think might be interested in setting up this meeting.
and working it, like, so we would love for them to work, and it's not selling it, like, we would be pre-buying everything and they would be giving it out.
Oh,
Yeah, we're providing the drinks, I mean, at least we're not providing the lunch, I thought we should provide something.
okay.
So I thought desserts and drinks. I mean, unless you guys, I mean, I really did, we're not providing food, like typically everything.
No, I'm on.
Yeah,
I
and
hear
this,
you on that
this,
for sure.
this restaurant, I mean, they went above and beyond as far as accommodating us in the price point. As we did for the police and some other people. Got them out.
So you don't remember the name?
And I meant to call Jody's sick right now, so it's, I was gonna call her. Well, I'll get it tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, well, that's a detail thing, I just thought, I mean, if,
It'd be nice to help a local business.
if we can't provide food, we just need somebody to pre-package and just say, oh, I want a brownie, oh, I want a cookie, oh, I
I
want a
think someone
cupcake.
local will probably do that
And
for
here you
less
go.
expensive.
I think
bringing
so.
them out there. you know?
Something like that is not cost effective.
Right.
Being a restaurant.
No, I know, it's not, but I also did, like, I went to something where they were trying to, like, individually wrap the desserts, and they got those brown pastry bags and shoved it in, and it was so, like,
Yeah, just like that.
Not that I want her to want to go to the kids and they're still.
and it's not broken.
It's not even broken into.
Yeah, and it's at wherever, like, if we can find something that tastes good, that's cost effective,
That's not
that's individually
expensive.
wrapped, that's perfect.
So you brought us all one.
Where'd you get them?
I couldn't even tell you at the moment.
Okay, so cookies in a bag.
She found cookies.
But
She don't
it's
work.
super
She doesn't
easy,
know.
it's not squishy.
And guess what? She's young.
They are from this.
No, that's perfect. Like, whatever we do, I just thought we should provide something that they eat and drink
Exactly.
for free included in our picnic. Because we are asking them to bring their own lunch, which I kind of prefer, and I would definitely prefer to bring my own wine.
Well, what's good about that is if you're diabetic and you need some sugar, there you go. We're offering that drink if you're dehydrated and sugar if you're diabetic. That's how I think.
Okay.
It's a little something.
Yeah, it's something that we're saying, hey, thank you for coming, here you go. So we need to decide on, really the only thing we need to decide on today is, do we have to decide on any of it today?
The second one.
The budget, and then I'd like to.
So we have $6,000 for the entire year. That's the Christmas lighting,
That's everything.
The boat parade is no cost to us, right?
No.
That's-
Well, we
Well,
have
if
to
you
hire
wanted
a
to give
captain.
some kind of prize or something, because they do give prizes in the rocks. I can tell you
Okay.
that.
Fundraiser.
Yeah, they do give, they give prizes.
That's great.
So, well, let's talk about what we think is a reasonable budget for the picnic. Because I think that's gonna be the biggest expense of, like, the dog costume parade is gonna cost nothing.
I think your suggestion of $2,000
Is 2,000
is
okay?
a good place to
Like a good
start.
start?
If we can move it up or down, we can.
Okay.
But we have 4 things.
Right.
This seems like the biggest event
Yeah.
that we have, so like
And the most costly.
2,000 is only like what?
Maybe 2,500. We'll give it a third.
Because Lynn, if we don't spend it, we lose it, right? It doesn't roll over.
No, I don't know.
It doesn't roll over, so we're spending every penny.
Why don't we do a third?
That's not
Huh?
Why don't we do a third of our whole budget?
2,000, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so,
But for the Christmas lighting, we still, I mean,
that's a
that's,
social.
it's a social, we'll still provide like tea, coffee, cider,
Yeah, hot
whatever
chocolate,
that
yeah.
is. We'll see how
The drinks.
everything is, but
Drinks would be.
you want to leave some money for there in case you're a hot mess next Christmas.
Well, at this point, we would have 2,000 for the picnic, 2,000 for like the boat parade, which we may not need, and then 2,000 for the Christmas social, which,
I feel like we should take away a little bit from the boat parade.
okay.
Yeah.
I love the boat parade, I want to tack on to it, you know? I think that's more of an individual cost, but prices, that's great.
And move it to where?
Move it to like some smaller events. Like
We have to
instead of
pay-
charging
We don't have to
people,
decide that today.
paying the yoga instructor to host
We can't do
10,
that.
15. No?
No, then they have to be a city employee. We've already gone through all of that. I tried.
What?
So-
Explain that. Why?
So.
It would have to be a city employee.
If we are hiring somebody and offering free, like if I'm paying Nicole to teach us tennis, I give her $100, let's say, and I invite the community to come out for free.
It's kind of touchy
It's a
because of
gray
the,
area. Why? What's the?
well, it's mainly things like workman's comp and things like that. If they're an independent contractor, then they've got to provide insurance. They've got to, there's all of this stuff.
Sure.
It's kind of intermixed. And what Tammy asked about was, could the city pay $5 of a $10 fee? No, we
Help me out. Spell out the problem. for me. Why?
Well-
what's the worst case scenario? What are we avoiding?
Well, first of all, you wouldn't pay for, if you hired someone and they just came and did it
Yeah.
one time,
Yeah.
that's a different story.
That's what I mean.
Okay, I'm talking about everyday classes, no.
No, I'm talking about like this tennis knockout and then warm up with a pro kind of thing, or a yoga on the beach just provided by, or kayaking.
What-
But
like,
not
are you
every
s-
Saturday kayak. It's just come out this one time or whatever it is.
Right, then you would do it as an
Give
independent,
some smaller example.
we'd do it as an independent contract.
Okay, so we'll just,
I think we should do a prize for the dog, Halloween, prize for the boat parade. That the little bit should go there, and then
Who votes on the dogs? Charlie wins.
No, Louis wouldn't.
we're having people who don't own dogs vote.
Well, I don't know, half a
I'll
dog,
take
so I
prize.
should be able to.
Okay, so I guess,
We could do an audience cheer.
all right, so those
or
are
we could
just,
do pictures, post on Facebook, and on
Yes.
okay, that's another meeting.
I am.
Yeah, let's work on those
Worried
details
about our
first.
short-term.
How,
I know we only have 25 minutes.
can we just do the 4 and then like say if in like Q3, Q4 we want to tack something on, can we just like submit it to the council like?
What, you mean at another event?
I think she's talking about a smaller,
Yeah.
those don't have to be approved. The smaller
If
ones.
you're talking about things like if you want to do, we'll say, rent a tennis instructor for 2 hours or something, that's an independent contractor. We could pay for that 2-hour thing, but they wouldn't charge the people that came to it.
Right. Okay, but that's not an event, that's an
Right.
activity, that's a one and done, and it's not, it's only a small group of people will come, not an event for,
It's more like a class.
as a class.
Yeah, I was saying like the big events that need to get approved by council because we need to like give them time. So if we wanted to tack
No,
something
they'll
on.
approve them pretty fast.
Yeah, if we wanted to tack something on in the middle of the year, we can. Okay, we're good.
Okay, so then I will, like, that was just the Jazz in the Park picnic. And then, like, for my suggestions, and they're already on there, so like, if you look at the calendar, I just kind of typed up an example. This could change, like, depending on what we vote on, but I was just showing you an example of, like, the first week. So, beach boot camp, like I said, the instructor that I found is available Monday, Wednesday at 4 o'clock, and it's $10 a class. Deb already went through hers, and it's on here if you see it. Beach yoga and meditation, 8:30 Tuesday, Thursday, and 9:30 on Saturday.
Acceptable all ages.
And then, so I'm still waiting to find out because there was a yoga instructor, Cheryl, who has done yoga in this room for a while. She quit on COVID.
Huh?
She's not calling Tammy back.
No, we know, he knows.
Yeah.
So they've reached out
Laura
to her
sent
several times. And if she ends up, like, we haven't filled anybody in her time slot, or nor have we put anybody back in the building. So if she comes back, we put her on. If she doesn't, we just don't. And then my other suggestion, which wouldn't be for now because it's too cold, is the stand-up paddleboard yoga, and then he would do lessons. And he's already done the lessons here before, and my husband and I did it with our neighbor and her husband. and that was really cool, but he does have an instructor that will do, and it's not like crazy stuff where you're standing on your head on a paddleboard, you know what I'm saying? You might do a downward dog would be the biggest balancing thing that you would do. But we would do it right up here, so if you fall in, it's up to your waist or whatever. With the fishies. So those were just the things, oh, and then the other one mine are already on the list anyway. So the painting with the twist. So this is like a one and done. I think he does it like once a month, but if we just did it with Bel-Air Beach and we said, okay, we want to shoot for one class March 5th. I don't even know what day of the week that is, but for 3 hours, everything included, unless you want to bring your own food and drinks. But everything, meaning the chair, the easel, the paint, everything is included for $45 and it's for 3 hours. And then he sets up, like right now we could go and sign up and do it on 22nd Street because he has a minimum of 12 people. So if we can't get 12 people in Bel-Air Beach to pre-sign up and pay and say they're gonna go, and there's only like 4, then those 4 people can move it on South. Does that make sense?
Say it again, if we can't get 12, then we'll do what?
We'll just join
Well-
Indian Rocks Beach class.
Our
Because he's already set up
insurance
there
covers it. You don't
and-
apply.
Oh, he does it on and he does it every,
He's got a website and a calendar and
Just
write
whenever.
all that information. You
It
sign
fills
up
out.
online and pay online and you just show up. But that's a one and done, kind of like the CPR or, I mean, we could do it like maybe once a quarter. I don't think people are gonna want to do that every month or whatever. So, I guess what we need to do now is taking out the activities, we need to vote on the ones that we want to start with for first quarter. Does that make sense? So it can be, I'm perfectly fine with us just going, okay, who wants to do this and raise, your hand and then we kind of do the ones with the most votes. Or if anybody has another suggestion. For this quarter. The boot camp and the yoga instructor can literally start next week if we want them to. I don't have dates nailed down with anybody else because I wasn't, they know it's pending. They know it's being voted on. So I just wanted to get availability, pricing, and time slots just so we would know. So if everybody just will take a minute and go through the list and like maybe put a star or however you want to mark it by the 5 you want to start with, and we'll see if we kind of have a consensus and we'll just go with those 2.
Not the events.
Yeah, not the events.
Okay, that's what I was trying to.
Yeah, no, I'm talking like if you want to do, want to start out, January calendar with the book club, walk the bridge, you get a couple walking twice a week or whatever, boot camp, or photography, whatever your,
Yeah.
Well, it would just be like already. Yeah, I Dave's an expert in
One is
the
expert, so
I'm sure.
I'll talk.
I know that.
It's not.
It's a better deal.
It's just everything, I think the knitting club and the book club are going to be the same vendors.
Yeah, she.
Yeah, probably.
I think they're gonna, I think they're really glad that they can push the two together, but this is gonna be outdoor. I just don't know how.
Because I like the knitting and you can set up the t-shirts there. Like there's like.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, I'm just gonna go down the list and then like make little tallies. Anybody to start January with stand-up paddleboard yoga? No, it's too cold. Okay. Paint and wine, paint with a twist on the beach. Okay, so we have one, I'm gonna vote for that.
Yes.
Two,
Oh, everybody.
Oh, everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, outdoor music or movies at City Hall, I didn't do any research on that, so does anybody want to,
We would have to do a drive up, is there,
I don't know. Like, I would think that would be something that we have to move down the road to like, do
Yeah.
research.
or until it gets a little bit warmer, you can do a big projection screen and then everybody with
Yeah, on the lawn.
the lawn.
Okay.
Again, a lot of this stuff is so great, but it's COVID. And
Right.
all the-
So I'll just put a little arrow forward on that one. Book club, how many people want to do book club in January? Deb?
It's a good thing to do, especially because it's.
So just think about, like, you don't necessarily have, you don't have to do it, but just think of like the group as a whole. Like, I know when the lady in Harbor Bluffs posted on Next Door Neighbor, does anyone to join a book club?
Like 700 people.
700 people. She literally turned it off and like people were going, how come I never heard back from you? How come no one ever? Because like there were so many people that wanted to do the book club and she wanted to max it out at like 15 people. So like, you may not want to do the book club, but I'm just think about the bigger picture when you're voting. Sure. So Deb is voting for the book club. Is anybody else voting for the
I'll
book club?
vote for that, yeah. It's a good one.
Are you voting for the book club? Okay, I'll vote for the book club. So we've got four
I feel
votes.
like
and
the
five.
knitting club and the book club are going to be the same members.
The what?
The knitting club and the book club, they're gonna be the same.
Nobody, I'm in that book club, no one knits, I can guarantee it, maybe 2 people,
I
but.
don't know how to knit.
Pickleball club, we can't really do this one right now because the tennis courts are being refinished anyway, right?
Right.
Not for January.
So that's moving down the road, okay. Spanish lessons, we haven't talked about, does anybody want to do Spanish lessons in January?
No grass.
No, okay. How about bingo? Where are we gonna do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Forward.
Arrow forward. Okay, couch to 5K training. Anyone? Anyone?
But what is that? What, I mean,
Honestly, I have an app on my phone through Audible. Like, it just starts you off with the, run, walk.
It tells
run,
you
walk.
each day
And it-
how many miles to do.
Yeah, and it
Until you
builds you
stop.
up to your 5K
Yeah.
from
From
nothing.
From the couch.
From the couch.
So, all right, walk the bridge with coffee, and like, walk the bridge,
Yes.
coffee wine.
100%.
Is that a
Five.
5? Okay. Beach boot camp. 1, 2.
that's why we need to do beach
Beach
Hour
boot camp,
or until?
4 o'clock on Monday and Wednesday.
You can fit these ones again, it doesn't matter if I'm available or not.
Yeah. I know you're not gonna do beach boot camp, but like,
What do I think the town would like? Does the
Right.
town want to do?
so we have 3 for beach boot camp? Okay. Beach yoga and meditation. 3 out of 5? 3 out of 5.
You can add it to that
We're going beach yoga?
I feel like
And
a lot
that
of
one is
people
not
like that.
safe.
That one 3 days a week.
Even though I like to think it was yoga.
And the great thing with that one is, I don't know, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but like say if Cheryl does her yoga class in this room, and she's been doing it, she knows that 25% of the money that she collects for her class gets paid to Bel Air Beach. The 2 instructors that are doing it on the beach, and they're not using building, utilities, bathrooms, they're using nothing of the city, they can go on our calendar, but they don't have to pay the city 25%. So like say Tara, who's doing the class for $4 or $5, you know, for her to have to pay the city to like, you know what I mean? She's sitting down there every day anyway doing it. She's just basically inviting people to join her at an affordable price. So they don't have to pay, just so you guys know. And like if we look, but like the paddleboard guy, and he's done it before, what he asked for was a flat rate. So like say he does 3 classes a week when it gets warmer, 2's yoga and 1's a lesson, or he only does lessons like once a month and the rest is yoga, whatever it may be. He has to pay a flat $150, which to me seems kind of like if he only has 2 people show up, he's actually losing money depending on what he's charging. So I was surprised he asked for that, but I think that's what he does with Clearwater Beach. But you know, everyone's got their own little thing. I think he'd be better off paying 25%. That's just me. But the 2 yoga beach people don't have to do that. But we do have to decide which beach we're going to use for the beach events at some point. Okay, so chess club, anyone?
A lot of chess club, but I don't think right now.
Okay. Bridge club, we've already got a bridge club, so that is going to stay on there. Same thing with the garden club. I think I wrote that on there. They're already pre-existing, so they're definitely on there. Knitting or crochet class.
We can wait to do it.
Did you say wait to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that on here?
Yeah, we wrote it in, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Puzzle club. Wait to do that. Okay, garden club is already on there. Tennis lessons or knockout tournament.
That's more of an event,
It's,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
it's like the paint thing, so I'll vote for that.
I chose,
I chose.
Okay,
that.
so there's 5.
Yeah.
Okay, Cheryl's already like established, so if she wants to come back, she's on there. We never talked about this one, but I do have an instructor, I just don't have pricing, so I have done this, but I did like a 2-month thing. I would do a 1 and done, and it would have to be COVID, which is after COVID, we haven't
Right.
talked about, but a women's self-defense class was awesome. And he will do like a 3-hour kind of, but we'll move that forward. This is another 1 and done. Oh, actually, I put the first Saturday of every month. It could be whatever, but a beach cleanup and ice cream social, like for the kids.
It's cute.
Okay, so you don't want that, or you already do that? Okay, so we got 5 on that.
Do what I'm already doing.
Jet ski rentals, I think we should push forward because it's too cold. I do have someone for that, but not really, he never called me back, but I did find a mobile company. Jewelry making.
There's Island Way Beads, like down the street, that kind of do this, and every Saturday they have an event inside their store.
Are they doing it now?
Yeah. Yep. My kids come. Wear a mask. And she'll be hasn't been people doing it, to be honest. She does like 2 or 3 lessons.
That's an IRB though.
It is.
No, we don't, would she come here? We don't know anything about her.
I'm pretty sure she would, I just don't know if there's going to be, I feel like if anyone wants to do that, they would just go there. She's like plethora of evenings and whatnot to choose from. I think it would be a disservice to bring it here, just to get together here.
Okay, so we won't put that on the calendar, that could just be like a, or we can. Okay, who votes for jewelry making? I don't know what I'm doing that too.
We could do a jewelry making, she could do like a 1-thing event, I just don't know how big of an interest.
Okay, let's do more research on that one. We really, I don't know enough to vote. Kayak and Eco Tours is actually the same guy that does the stand-up paddleboard classes. So he has paddleboards for rent and kayaks, and he does like an eco tour out around, I don't know what he's, there's a bird. I don't know what he does, but it's not for now. Is it? I'm sure it is. CPR class. I'm for that.
For January?
I don't know if it's for January because I think
We need to still do more research on it.
we need to do research.
And because of vote too.
What about the Red Cross blood drive?
Love that.
I love that.
Because in the parking lot, right, Lynn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just have a call.
So we got 5 on that. We need to do more research on the tech for, I've fallen and I can't get up.
So, yeah.
Okay.
You guys looking ahead for me to be able to use that?
No.
Well, I just think that
It's easy.
it already exists.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just tell the people.
Oh, yeah.
How can we tell the people to teach?
Okay, photography. Do you need to get more like info on that, like availability
Yeah, the
and
thing I was just
costs?
talking about was just a simple thing that's done. I mean,
Yeah.
there were a number of people, I mean, if there were a group of people that truly wanted to talk to the class, I mean, I can get that organized. That's much more intense and much more expensive.
Okay, who is in favor to do photography on the January calendar?
Let's get more time. Even that have to be inside close up. A bit.
Okay, so, looking at this, so the paint with the twist, the wine class, that was unanimous, so I'm gonna call him and get a date, and then we'll put it on the calendar. Is everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Book club, it was 4 out of 5. Like, my question for that one is, I don't mind putting it on, but like, are you gonna lead it? We need someone that's gonna guarantee to be there every time. Will you be the leader?
I've never done it.
And I'll be, the lady across had never done one before either. Honestly, like, women show up and they'll tell you how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, but where are we
So you
gonna
need
meet?
to come here?
So yeah, that's the issue. Where are we gonna meet?
Okay,
I'm not
well-
gonna have a bunch of people in my house.
No, no, no.
I don't
We-
let people in now because of COVID.
We go to, the first time we went to the park across the street, and then now we've been meeting at Mike's Pizza. Like outside is this ginormous table, and we're all like this. And really no one's talking about the book, but that's just how it goes. So yeah, that might be one that like we all like voted on, or 4 people voted on it, but like it's too
I
cold
don't
to
think
sit
anyone
outside.
wants to
Right.
take that on right now, is the thing.
I
That's
want to talk to you more about it and think about what kind of book.
My daughter's in a book club for a couple of years now. It's just we can get really small. It's the 4 of us, and it makes it really easy. And whoever's up kind of has to do like the question sheet
Okay.
and whatnot. A small activity. She's not, so we can skip the activity. We still have to research the questions, which is super easy after you read a book. I just can't commit to reading the book in a timely manner with everything else going on.
No, that's totally fine. So we're gonna move book club out, like up a little bit, or out a little bit. Okay, so, Walk the Bridge was 5, so that is definitely gonna go on there. Beach boot camp was 3 out of 5, so that's on there, right? Beach yoga, 4 out of 5, so that's on there. Bridge club is already on, garden club is already on. Tennis lessons or the knockout tournament, I know that's a one and done, but that will go on there. So we need to do a little bit more research because I don't know a tennis pro. I keep trying to get the guy that teaches right in Brown Park at Indian Rocks Beach.
Yeah.
Like,
Lazaro or something?
I don't know. But I mean,
I don't know, I see all the
Do we have other tennis courts?
I've gone
right
online.
here?
Do I what?
We don't have other tennis courts in
Just these, and
Yeah.
then Brown Park is in New Rocks.
so we really can't do
These are-
tennis till those are done.
Exactly.
And when is that?
When are those going to be done?
Probably February.
Oh, all right, so let's do that. That'll give us enough time to.
Get people.
Yeah.
So it'll go on the
I
calendar
was
for
looking for a
February.
tennis coach a long time ago, and some guy's name kept popping up that was like, he was like Lazaro or something. I feel like he'd be interested. If not, the Shin Watch has a ton of those, or people who give lessons. They might want to put their name out.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so we'll definitely put that one on there for February. And then Cheryl, where she's pending,
beach cleanup.
and then the beach cleanup and ice cream social, like, then that one will definitely go on there. We just have to do, I just put first Saturday of the month, that's obviously not locked in. So we just need to pick a date for that and put it on there. And then the Red Cross, blood drive needs to go on there.
We have to find a sponsor.
You do?
Unless they have their own. They have their own. They do it.
I think they do.
Yeah, never mind.
The blood drive is their own sponsor?
They have,
It's called One Blood.
One Blood will always give you like a $20 Amazon card or a movie theater ticket without this
They
happening.
got a free.
They always do
Robin.
something, but I bet you they find their own. We just get to set it up. Yeah.
That's good. So we've literally got 1, 2, 3,
8.
well, I circled 9, but I was kind of like differentiating the ones that are kind of like, is everybody happy with this format for a calendar?
Yeah, I wish this could come to my mailbox.
I can send that to you. Oh, you're at home.
For everybody, for the community, these are the activities, you know, I know.
It's expense.
I know.
Yeah, we have to, it's basically gonna be word of mouth, and we'll post the calendar up like for people that come in. What we can also do is post them on those boards, like in the parks, right? And then we can, what I was thinking what I would do is literally like, so I have a couple of friends, they're actually the wives of my husband's golf guys, whatever. They live down at this end. So I was gonna like give just one to each of them and go, tell all the ladies that you talk to in your neighborhood. Because there's like, what, 6 or 7 of us up Harbor Drive, and like, I could or First Avenue, just like in our Second Avenue, in our little pocket where you could just go and, I mean, that's how I got Nora. I went and knocked on her door and said, hey.
Sunday morning,
I-
in my pajamas.
I told you though, I said go get her. She'll be down.
Breakfast, I was like,
And she did. She said she'd be down with it. Go knock on the door. So that's how I was thinking, because a lot of these things, we don't need 50 people. Okay.
Our son buys his first house.
Well, we already voted on everything, so we're just going to do a wrap up and.
Thank you for understanding.
Have fun.
what are you doing?
Helping Bennett buy his first house.
Oh, yay, where?
St. Pete. He wants us to move there too, but
She's not going anywhere.
we're signing, we're
Bye.
gonna put the contract.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, so everybody's okay with this format for?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm hoping, I'll ask Patty or Lynn, maybe you know, like, I'm gonna type in everything that we just voted on, and then Patty can email it out to everybody, and then the 2 gentlemen that aren't here tonight, then they'll see it, because we have enough people to pass this stuff without them,
Right.
correct? Okay. And then the few things that we need a little bit more research on, like if it was your gig, like if you could get a date nailed down at the Red Cross, the dates that I suggested and times for the walk the bridge, if you look at it on the calendar, and this is just me making stuff up, so we can totally change it. So on Tuesday, I put 10 a.m., and then you walk the bridge and you go get coffee. And then on Thursday, I put 5 p.m. and you walk the bridge and you go get a glass of wine. And you don't have to do either of those things. You know, you could just walk the bridge and come home or whatever. But if there's a group of people, and you know, we're obviously going to social distance and do all that stuff you're supposed to do, you got to bring your mask and your, you know, your little purse or your pocket or whatever, so when you go in to get whatever you're going to get to drink, if you choose to do that. You know, there'll be people that want to do that, and people that want to go just split up or whatever. But I will do both of those, like, and I know everybody raised their hand. Yeah, Bell or Coffee. Yeah. So, are you guys okay with those dates and times? Should we start with that, or do you want to switch to something else? So 10 a.m. on a Tuesday and 5 p.m.
That's
on
like
a
next week,
Thursday
that's gonna be us.
to
It's
start.
gonna be us walking there.
Well, I do need some people to recruit. I'm going to recruit some people
I'll
though.
go. Okay. I'm down.
Our dogs welcome.
That'll be our soft.
But I mean, yeah, we can't. Yeah, because you know what? You can sit outside at Belvino. They have
Oh, yeah,
tables outside.
At least think about that.
They have tables at both places to sit outside, and people have their dogs all the time. So, do those times work for everybody?
I can do Tuesday at 10.
And you could do one or the other or neither. Like nobody's tied into this stuff.
Do you want to switch up a week up? Break it up a little bit? Or you want to keep it tight together? Say again? Do you want them 2 days apart from each other? Or do you want to push one a week later or something?
Oh, I was just thinking like to offer it twice a week, and then if you can only go once,
Sure.
then, you know what I mean? You could go to one or the other, or neither. But I thought I'd do one in the morning for the people that work from home or whatever the case would be, and then one after, at 5, so if they work or whatever. Okay. Okay, so the boot camp set, the yoga and meditation is set. I'm gonna call and get a date for the paint and wine and see if we can get 12 people to sign up for that. Again, that one's gonna be a word of mouth, like me just asking people, you just asking people, and then saying, this is the website, and that's how we're gonna start it until we can get these. We will put it on Next Door Neighbor. We can work on the Facebook page. I know Deb has, I'm not on it, but there is a Bel Air Beach Facebook page that you have to be invited to, and there's a group of them. So if we put those two things on that, it's gonna hit way more people than you can pass it out to. So we do have some avenues to get it to people. It's just not, we have to wait for them to get the avenue for everybody. Because we can't spend $500 on a mailer every time we want to.
Not every time, just to get everyone to go on the website, let them know that there is a calendar.
And that's what they're doing, like.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to collect, because we had a constant contact list of 475, I think it was. Yeah. And probably 150 of them live here. The other, because what they used to do, they used to come in here, and if you walked in the building for anything, you want information on the city, sign this. So they just built this list, and it,
Why don't we just mail out to the existing addresses
well, that's what,
rather than to an individual who lives in
right.
Miami?
So what we're doing, the communications committee developed this survey that we're going to send out to the rest of the residents to see if they even want to be contacted. Because in the past, that has been an issue. As an example, I sent an email to the 115 people that undergrounded down on 22nd Street. 10 of them wanted to be contacted. I sent them a letter, and 10 of them responded with, I would like to have information on the updates. So, you, in the big picture, you may get 250 people out of the whole city that wants the information. That's
Yeah, and the
just,
same person that said don't contact me is the same person that put on Next Door Neighbor app. We have a Parks and Recreation department in Bel Air Beach, like, and this was like a whole fiasco that I don't really know about from before, but like when that letter was sent out, somebody posted that online, and it's like,
yeah.
you know, people need, like, they say they want to know, but they don't want to be bothered. So it's kind of like a tightrope of, you know, they don't want to be inundated. They don't want a bunch of text messages and phone calls. But like if, like you said, if it was like, hey, please look online at the Bel Air Beach website because there's all these activities and things to do that are new. Check it out and see. And then if they're not interested in even that, then forget it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much, you know, I've lived here 22 years, so at times we had really good things. And then at other times, we used to have a picnic every month at Morgan Park in the evening. First couple times it was several people, it wasn't inundated, but then nobody came. And the Parks and Rec group did that. And they finally just said, hey, why are we doing this once a month?
I think this is a vacation town, so people are here 6 and 6 up north or somewhere, you know, so it's not consistency
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
It's a small community, inconsistency.
Yeah.
Residents.
Yeah, people tell me every day, well, I didn't know about that. I had an individual tell me he didn't know I was charging him an assessment for undergrounding.
And I think more than updating that website, like the upkeep of the website is super, you know, and having somebody upload everything, and like a Facebook post now, I feel like it's, you know, I don't know.
It's here to check out activities. That's, if you want to.
Well, it literally says on the website for Bel Air Beach, it says fitness classes coming. So all we would have to put is fitness classes and activities.
Right.
And then just fill them in. It's already set up on the website. We just have to get it.
And anything we post on there can be transferred to a Facebook page we have.
Yeah, so it's already done, like the.
Oh, so we just let the communication board know and then they.
No, it's
Oh,
posted
Kyle
by
or
the staff.
Patty.
Kyle.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so that the structure is already kind of set up for us to slide it in. We don't have to start from scratch, so that's good.
It's just getting people sometimes to, well, we have a lot of hits on our website, but we don't know who they are. You know,
I mean, even Tara, the yoga instructor, she's like, don't worry about advertising. If people see you walking down the sidewalk with your yoga mat, they're gonna ask you where you're going and how much it costs and what time it is, and it'll grow that way. So.
It'll be small at first, but it'll.
All right, so we have the 4 dates that I will ask to be put on the agenda for the next council meeting to see if we can get those passed. And then we have like our 5 or 6 things that will go on the calendar every week. And then we have 2 or 3 things that we need to lock in dates. I actually, like, until the council approves the May 15th date for the picnic, I can't really lock in the band. But he's like, we really have very few things in the afternoon. They're all in the evening. So he's like, you're pretty much, if you want us on a Saturday afternoon in April or May, we're pretty much open for that. And then the other thing, if everybody's good with it, once, because we already voted on it and passed, once I get a paint and wine class date from the instructor, and once I get a Red Cross date, then I'll just call Patty and I'll have her update I'll update the calendar and send it to her.
What about Sunday? We know about it doing picnic on Sunday.
I don't know. Like, I know for, like, so the jazz band
Yeah.
plays at that restaurant for Sunday brunch.
Ah,
And that's
no,
how I
that's-
saw
That's a
them.
no-no, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if they'd even be available, and that's
Right,
probably why I
probably
didn't
not.
think of it. But it doesn't matter, I mean,
Can I ask a follow-up question for the bridge walk? Where's our start?
oh, I would just, we would be right out in front
Right
of the
here?
building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's more details obviously than this, but I just thought if we got the basics, like
Yeah.
chosen, then we can just kind of fill in. Like, I don't, we can talk about it, but we don't really need to vote on where we meet, right? Like, we don't need to do that. Perfect, okay. So we'll just, all those little details, like, we'll just fill them in, and we can adjust them as it goes if we need to, or whatever, so. Okay, cool. Let me look. See? Oh, and the last thing on that, Kyle, this is just a request for you. Like, say for the picnic, the picnic gets approved and it's May 15. Like, obviously, I'm assuming we can use the tables, but I don't know if we have linens, like, tablecloths to put over it, or coolers, like, or I didn't know if I had to drag our Yetis out of the garage. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what we have and what we need to get, beg, borrow, steal. I don't want to go buy a bunch of stuff. I want to just see what we have to use.
For drinks.
For drinks and, like, tables, and we don't need a lot.
The tables are, this is what we use. We took them outside.
Okay, do we have tablecloths?
No, but what we've done is use plastic disposable.
They're like $12 at Amazon, and the plastic blow away, and they're a pain in the
Well, you
butt, and
flip
they
it.
look terrible.
Yeah, I know, but no, we don't have any tablecloths.
No offense to you.
No. But that's what we've done.
So no
Or,
tablecloths.
because these are plastic, we don't even put a tablecloth on, because they're washable. But,
But, okay, so no tablecloths. How about coolers?
coolers, don't worry about it. We can get that.
You have coolers?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have tables and you have coolers. Can anybody think of any? We're gonna try not to do silverware, not do napkins, it's like, here's your cookies, here's your drink. Like, we don't want to do plates and utensils and stuff like that. Like, they should pack napkins in their
We
picnic
need
basket.
garbage
Bags and
bags
cans,
for everyone to be able
recycle.
to
We
throw
have
away.
that.
Recycle, you have, okay.
Well, there's 3 garbage cans here. Is that?
They
We'll probably,
yeah.
yeah.
recycling? Or
We don't have recycling.
We do not?
We don't
Can we,
do,
what kind of garbage do you have? Just like a plastic or a big wire?
it's just
plastic.
plastic.
Just
Yeah.
plastic?
So we
just
can allocate
make one,
for-
just put a big
Yeah, because,
recycling sign on
see,
it,
we don't,
a clear bag. Perfect.
you have to understand, because I know a couple times we talked about recycling the parks, but we don't have that capability here to do that. And the trash company is not going to do that.
Oh,
Well, how did they pick up our recycle?
That's you individually.
But they don't pick up the cities?
No, they won't pick it
we
up
don't have business.
individually in a,
It's residential versus business pickup, they're different
yeah.
types, different
See,
trades.
now, we have
businesses.
a single recycling thing that we put newspaper and bottles in, and that's what they pick up from us. But they don't go out, in like parks and stuff. And the experience, having been in that business for a long time, the parks, you never end up with anything recyclable because somebody will throw food in it and then it's contaminated and they won't take it.
What if we took I have 2 recycle bins. What if
No,
I-
I'm not saying, what I'm saying is, you can put a recycle bin out there,
Yeah,
Someone's gonna throw food in it.
but it's gonna end up contaminated.
I got you.
Because somebody will throw, at your home, it's a little different story. You're paying attention. Johnny is not gonna pay attention. He's gonna say, oh, well, there's a can there, even if it's green,
Yeah.
or, whatever it is, he's gonna throw something in it, and then it doesn't,
General census is
There was actually dedicated recycling people in some of the festivals I've been to, they stand guard for that reason. And they're
Well-
like, that's left, that's to the right, they
Yeah.
even take a beer.
So
Yeah,
go
but-
around, so
but-
don't-
Are you nominating yourself?
that's what you would have to do to do it. You
I
have
think
to-
we would do the honor system on it and see how it goes, but here's the thing, what am I gonna do with that at the end? We don't have a recycling drop-off like any rock stage does, right?
I'm
Next
just
to
bring
Brown
it
Park.
back to my house and put it in the curb on Wednesday.
No, we have what's it about this tall? It's a 50-gallon garbage can that's a recycling can that we put stuff in for City Hall, okay? But what I'm saying, when you put it out to the public, the experience that I've had with it, even though you say, this is recycling, and this is
What
trash,
does your container look like?
huh?
What does your 50-gallon container look like?
It's a green trash can on wheels.
Hard
trash
lid,
cart.
it's not the circular with the smaller circular
No.
opening where only it's very clear and obvious that you don't want, it's a big wide mouth, okay.
And we even had those.
Maybe we can invest in one or two and give it a try with.
Well, you can put it in a
circular
trash can and say it's
with a
recycling.
lid that
And
has a smaller circular, so it's really just, you can fit a water bottle.
That's what breaks my heart. We're offering plastic can,
Yeah, we should have a recycling for it and cross our fingers, hope for the best, but try to guard it as much as we can with
you'd have to guard
recycling
it.
sign, not guarding it like me, but with
You can put a
plastic
sign on a
lid.
trash can and do that.
But
That's not a
if you put a
problem.
plastic lid on it that has the smaller circular, that's
Right.
very clear, There-
Well,
You
it's-
have to really show your sandwich lunch to make it through that hole. You
It's
have to
not that
really
clear,
want to
I can tell you
contaminate it
from
in order to
Big
contaminate it.
events. They can't even get them to put in a green and blue bag, like at the professional golf tournament. There's a green bag with a recycling thing on top of it and a blue bag. And guess what's in both of them? Hamburgers, sodas, whatever you want. But we can put a couple cans out that say recycle.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, it doesn't hurt to try.
Let's try
It looks like
But let's get the
we're gonna
proper
make
rating.
effort and
I'll
like
look to
see
how
what
much
we
that
get.
is.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right, perfect. I just wanted to know what we have. And then, all right, so I'm just gonna do an overall, because I know we voted and everything. I just wanna make sure everybody is good with what we just voted on. So can I have a motion to pass everything that we just talked about for the activity calendar?
Agreed.
Nora? Have a second? All in favor? Aye. So,
Who was that motion? Me and Nora?
Yep.
Okay, and then the last is just all other business. Does anybody have anything else that they want to talk about or ask a question or?
If we pull them back over that way.
Should we, do you guys want to do a fundraising thing then?
What, okay, I'll put that on the agenda for the next meeting, once we get the date locked in and secured, and they say we can actually do it.
Okay.
And then, because I don't want us to do a bunch of work and then them go no because of COVID, or,
You think they might shut down the whole picnic?
I don't think so, but I mean, you just never know.
Sure.
Like, I hope not, because we're gonna try to do as socially distanced as possible, and we're gonna try to follow, like, I would say if it's lunch, like 12 to 3, is that, it gives the people, is that, well, what time were your old picnics?
They were midday.
Midday?
Midday, but it's gonna be May, middle of May, that's pretty warm, isn't it here?
Lovely, yeah, 3 is the peak hot, something like that.
Oh, 3 is even hotter?
At 3 p.m., it's the
Oh.
warmest.
So that's why I thought 12
Alright.
and lunch, and then if they have something that they have scheduled at night, they still have time to like,
Sure.
so then for sure we won't get shut down.
Right.
Okay,
I don't think you have to worry about getting approved. It'll get approved.
okay. But yeah, and then we can work out all the, what we're gonna have to do is like a little, we can have carts and stuff too. That's coolers. What we'll do is a work session
Yeah.
or like a, that we work out, that we only do the picnic. And then we kind of
Yeah.
divide and conquer and we get all the details down and what we have and what we need. And we have costs on everything. And we, you know, we do our little checklist and make sure, because just to make sure it goes as seamless as possible that day, and like we try not to forget anything or, you know, and just get bodies in the park to kind of.
I have an odd question. Have you ever put a plaque on a picnic bench that is that, it's like plastic wood, I don't even know. What do we have the park benches made out of?
Plastic wood.
Yeah, can you drill into
It starts with a
plastic
T.
wood?
I can't remember what it's.
Yeah.
It's just like
lumber.
It's lumber, but it's recycled.
All right. I say we sell those plaques on the chairs in the different parks.
Yeah, I mean,
At
it's a,
the picnic.
we can launch, once we get our like tax exempt, we can launch that whole program
See, we
to,
do it together though. No one's gonna want to do it all at the same
Yeah.
day.
That's fine.
But we have to think about how long, like what it turns on it, how long to get the bench. You know?
yeah, all the details. Okay. Sounds good. So any other business? Anybody?
Go on the bench.
Are we ready to adjourn?
Yes.
All right, the meeting is adjourned.